Science has gifted humanity with incredible breakthroughs, pushing the boundaries of knowledge and understanding. Yet, history also reveals a darker side, where the pursuit of discovery sometimes blurred the lines between genius and outright madness. These are the tales of ambition, curiosity, and unsettling methods. From unsettling psychological manipulations to macabre biological feats, these experiments challenge our perceptions of ethics and human limits. Prepare to delve into the annals of scientific history, where the quest for answers led to some truly bizarre and disturbing endeavours. Here are the top 10 bizarre scientific experiments in history. In the early 1900s, Russian physiologist Ivan Pavlov conducted his now famous experiments on canine digestion. He observed that dogs would salivate not just at the sight of food, but also at stimuli associated with feeding, like the lab assistant's footsteps. This simple observation sparked a profound realization. Pavlov began ringing a bell just before presenting food, consistently pairing the sound with the meal. Soon, the dogs began to drool merely at the sound of the bell, even without any food present. This groundbreaking work demonstrated classical conditioning, revealing how learned associations profoundly shape behaviour. It laid a foundational stone for modern psychology, yet the image of dogs mechanically responding to a bell remains a stark, almost unsettling symbol of behavioural control. In the summer of 1971, psychologist Philip Zimbardo orchestrated a chilling social experiment at Stanford University. He recruited college students and randomly assigned them roles as either guards or prisoners within a mock prison environment. The goal was to study the psychological effects of perceived power and authority. The experiment quickly spiraled into a disturbing display of human nature. Within days, the student guards adopted increasingly sadistic and authoritarian behaviours, while the prisoners exhibited extreme emotional distress, rebellion, and even psychological breakdowns. The simulation became so intense and ethically compromised that it was abruptly terminated after only 6 days, far short of its planned 2 weeks. The Stanford prison experiment remains a stark and unsettling reminder of how quickly individuals can conform to roles and how easily power can corrupt even in a simulated environment. The 1940s saw some truly macabre biological research emerge from the Soviet Union, spearheaded by scientist Sergei Brukhonenko. His most infamous work involved keeping the severed heads of dogs alive for hours using a primitive heart-lung machine he called an autojector. These disembodied heads reportedly reacted to stimuli, blinking and even licking their lips. Later, even more disturbing experiments involved surgically attaching the head of one dog onto the body of another. These two-headed creatures, though short-lived, were a grotesque testament to surgical ambition. While undeniably creepy and ethically questionable, these pioneering, albeit horrifying efforts in organ perfusion and transplantation laid some of the earliest groundwork for future medical advancements, including human organ transplants. From the early 1950s through the late 1970s, the CIA secretly conducted Project MKUltra, a clandestine and deeply unethical program. Its primary objective was to develop mind control techniques for interrogation and psychological manipulation. The agency experimented on unwitting subjects, often without their consent or knowledge. Methods included administering powerful hallucinogens like LSD, employing hypnosis, sensory deprivation, and even various forms of psychological torture. Many participants suffered severe and lasting psychological damage. When details of MKUltra were eventually exposed in the 1970s, it sent shockwaves through the public, fueling widespread distrust in government and inspiring countless conspiracy theories about secret government control. The true extent of its human cost may never be fully known. In 1962, a bizarre and tragic experiment unfolded at the Oklahoma City Zoo. Researchers, curious about the effects of hallucinogens on aggression, decided to inject a massive dose of LSD into a 14-year-old male elephant named Tusko. The dosage was hundreds of times what would be considered a human recreational dose. The results were catastrophic and immediate. Tusko quickly collapsed, went into convulsions, and died within hours. The experiment was widely condemned for its extreme cruelty and profound lack of ethical consideration. It stands as a grim example of scientific hubris, a stark reminder of the dangers of reckless experimentation and a disturbing footnote in the history of drug research. In the early 1960s, psychologist Stanley Milgram conducted a series of unsettling experiments at Yale University. He sought to understand the extent to which individuals would obey authority figures, even when instructed to perform actions that conflicted with their personal conscience. Participants were told they were administering electric shocks to a learner, an actor, for incorrect answers. The shocks were fake, but the participants believed they were real and potentially lethal. Despite hearing the learner's screams of pain and pleas to stop, a shockingly high percentage of participants continued to administer what they believed were increasingly dangerous shocks simply because an authority figure told them to. Milgram's findings revealed a chilling capacity for obedience in humans, exposing a dark and uncomfortable truth about our susceptibility to authority. The 1970s witnessed another deeply disturbing foray into transplantation, this time led by American neurosurgeon Dr. Robert White. Driven by the ambition to one day perform human head transplants, White conducted a series of macabre experiments on rhesus monkeys. His most infamous procedure involved transplanting the head of one monkey onto the body of another. The recipient monkey's brain was kept alive, and the head could reportedly see, hear, and even bite. However, due to the inability to reconnect the spinal cord, the creature was completely paralyzed from the neck down. These grotesque experiments, while demonstrating the possibility of keeping a brain alive in a new body, raised profound and enduring ethical questions about the sanctity of life, consciousness, and the limits of scientific intervention. In 1920, psychologists John B. Watson and Rosalie Rayner conducted one of the most infamous and ethically reprehensible experiments in the history of psychology. Their subject was an infant, a 9-month-old boy known as Little Albert. The goal was to demonstrate classical conditioning in humans, specifically the creation of a phobia. Initially, Albert showed no fear of a white rat. However, Watson and Rayner began pairing the sight of the rat with a loud, startling noise. After repeated pairings, little Albert developed a profound fear of the white rat, and tragically, this fear generalized to other furry objects, including a Santa Claus beard. The experiment left the child permanently traumatized and is now universally condemned for its severe ethical violations, serving as a grim reminder of how cruel early psychological research could be. Nikola Tesla, a visionary inventor, was responsible for countless technological advancements. However, towards the end of his life, he made increasingly outlandish claims, including the development of a terrifying weapon he called a death beam, or teleforce. Tesla asserted this device could generate an intense, concentrated beam of energy capable of destroying aircraft at a range of 200 miles. While Tesla never publicly demonstrated a working prototype, he insisted the technology was real and offered it to various governments. The concept of such a devastating weapon, capable of mass destruction from a distance, was both horrifying and fascinating. After his death, some conspiracy theories persist that governments secretly pursued his research, hinting at a hidden, powerful technology that remains a chilling possibility. The Philadelphia experiment stands as one of history's most enduring and bizarre alleged scientific endeavors. According to legend, in October 1943, the US Navy attempted to make the destroyer escort USS Eldridge invisible to radar using an electromagnetic field. The story claims the experiment went horribly wrong, with the ship not only becoming invisible, but also teleporting from Philadelphia to Norfolk, Virginia, and back. Eyewitness accounts, though unverified, describe sailors fused into the ship's metal, driven mad, or even disappearing entirely. While the US Navy has consistently debunked the claims as pure fiction, the tale persists with an unsettling grip on the public imagination. It remains a captivating and morbidly curious narrative, a testament to the human fascination with secret government projects, impossible science, and the terrifying unknown. From the chilling depths of psychological manipulation to the grotesque frontiers of biological engineering, these bizarre experiments reveal the complex and often unsettling journey of scientific discovery. They stand as stark reminders of humanity's insatiable curiosity, its boundless ambition, and the critical importance of ethical boundaries. Each story, whether a proven historical fact or a persistent legend, offers a glimpse into the darker corners of our scientific past. These tales force us to confront uncomfortable truths about human nature and the lengths to which we might go in the pursuit of knowledge. Which of these unsettling experiments left you the most disturbed? Tell us in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more strange history and mysteries every week.